one of the biggest issues for me is independence issues, because they want us to have a normal life that everyone else has, but one of the biggest things that really makes it hard is people with disabilities cannot maintain their supplemental security income if they choose to marry somebody that does not receive it. They will and makes too much money at the time, so they'll lose it. And so you are kind of given the chance of, I found somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with, but I can't financially get married yet, and you have to make life decisions that you may not otherwise have made. But sometimes it works out for the best, so I'm not saying it's bad. It's just that it makes it frustrating to be, I want to be independent, but you're holding me back in this way.
When you combine incomes, if you're, want to get married to somebody that's also on SSI, I mean, there's certain, the rules change. You can't just combine your income. They cut it, and it really doesn't make sense, because, I mean, it does and it doesn't. It just seems like you have that much more expenses, and living together, and then if you have kids down the road, they don't. It doesn't seem like maybe they took into account that families can be expensive, and I know personally, it makes a lot of people I'm friends with they cohabitate because it's easier, and that's not right. I mean, that's not fair to them. It's easier, the easier road than changing everything and getting that dock and money. So.
And another thing is, right now, Chris and I, with my new job, we were on Medicaid before I got my job, and I haven't earned enough money to lose Medicaid yet. So we have Medicaid, but because my daughter is not visually impaired, she doesn't get Medicaid anymore. So her health benefits are actually a lot worse than ours, which is kind of weird, because usually they take care of the kids first, and so like her vitamins are not covered with my insurance at all, and now we don't have Medicaid, so they don't help out with that at all. And I would make it so that if you're able to save some money while you're on SSI, that is SSI money that you were given, then I would make it so you could save it and build up an account, because I feel like the way the system is, once you hit a certain amount of money, even if it took you 10 years to save that up, then you're going to lose your benefits or part of your benefits. And I don't think that that is teaching people with disabilities or people on SSI how to manage their money. And so when they do get a job, they're not responsible money managers. They just think they have to spend everything they get. And I understand that it's just to provide your basic needs, but at the same time, that is not getting extra money from anywhere else. And somebody sat down and decided how much people get on SSI is meeting their basic needs. So if someone can be frugal and save $10 here and there and add it up and build up, I think that should not be discouraged.
With SSI services, they actually encourage you to spend your money without saving it, so that you can, you're supposed to live off of it, but if you can save, $5 to $10 or $50 a month, you can actually learn saving things like that. And sometimes you're penalized for the fact that they overpay you, but they encourage you to spend it, so you can't just all of a sudden pay them back. You have to pay them back within months, and out of money that you're actually using and living off of.
There's a proposed bill up on the legislature back again to cut dental and vision, because they're cutting a lot of funds across the board. They're cutting housing, they're cutting even existing state funds that already exist, even like the residential housing. But the two I would focus on are dental and vision. Yes, we need a place to live, don't get me wrong. but you also need your eyes checked and your teeth fixed, because you're not going to be able to get a job without personal hygiene, getting your teeth fixed, or getting your eyes checked, because either you're going to have no teeth at all and not be able to talk and not be able to eat, or you're not going to have no vision to see what you're doing.
Yes, they're not covering vision anymore, which is very important to me as a citizen, because I'm getting blind, and the more the lenses go up in price for me, and the frames, getting them covered and getting them to cover some of the stuff I need.
We can't do without dental or vision. We can't do without PCN. We can't do without, this part of Medicaid, because if you do, what's going to happen to these 800 people that are on this part of Medicaid? Well, they're not going to be able to get that part because you just demolished part of our foundation. Unless you're going to formulate the foundation you dissolved into another part of Medicaid. Now, if you're going to do that, you'll be just fine. But if you're just going to let it fall to the ground and let it be buried for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, then what's going to happen to the 800 people or the 28 people on my caseload? Well, I'm going to have to call them and tell them they're going to go without. No, that's not the answer to our problem. If we're going to dissolve part of Medicaid or part of anything, we need to reconstruct and say, okay, let's combine these two services.